Okay, so basically, uh, about me, I've told you that this was about me. Now I'm going to actually start about the student ambassador programs. This was one of the main agendas of today's session. Okay, so student ambassador programs. There are lots of student ambassador programs basically. So one of the I've mentioned some awesome ambassador programs here. Okay, so let me show you to those programs, and then I will tell you what are the benefits of being an ambassadors and how you can use them as a student. Okay, so let me actually take you to those pages. Okay, so there are lots of ambassador programs. One of them is Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador programs. So basically, I mentioned that because I believe that Learn Student Ambassador program is a beginner-friendly program, and you can be a part of this program. If you don't have any kind of good LinkedIn profile, still you can be a part of this program. Just basically, you have to show them this Microsoft that you are very much fascinated about this program and you want to learn and you want to share. So, how to apply for the program? We will know more about it, but basically, we're just going to know much more about these programs. Okay, so there are also Postman Student Expert Program. Okay, so Postman recently kind of one of the unicorns of India. They have launched their also community programs. Okay, so you can be part of those student programs too. So basically, you just have to come to this page and you have to search this Postman student program or something. Then you can see there are three programs: student expert program, student leader program, and classroom program. So first of all, you can just apply for this expert program. And if you are an expert, then you can apply for this leader program. This is how this program works, okay? So after that, we have AWS Educate Student Ambassador program. Okay, so this is like AWS doesn't have that much student programs, but they have few student programs, very few. They are not the kind of like they are not like Microsoft or Google. They are not. They don't have that much student programs, but they basically have this Cloud Ambassador program and another one. So this program is not always open. It does open for a few months or something. They are not kind of very regular to these programs, but still you can be part of this program. They do give you this AWS credits so that you can learn as a student. This is for the students, so you can be part of this program and learn from this program. Other than this, there is all zero ambassador programs. Okay, so maybe you guys already know about this program, all zero ambassador program. So basically, this is not beginner friendly program. Again, you need to have a good LinkedIn profile or Twitter profile. Then you can apply for this program and you can be part of it. Many of the people or students actually apply for these programs, a lot of programs, but they don't get selected. The reason behind this is that they don't have good LinkedIn profile, because when the company is going to accept you there, they want to see that if you have any influence over your community or not. Okay, so if you have good profile, it shows that you have influence over your community, then they do accept you. This is how things actually work. Again, like Angel Hack, sorry, Angel Hack Ambassador programs. This is Angel Hack is kind of working with hackathons and so on and so forth. So you can apply for this program, and the Angel Hack actually benefits you for your campus. They do help you with some all the help you need to actually organize a hackathon or so. Okay, so you can actually check it all of that. And after that, we have GitHub Campus Expert Program. This is one of the kind of premium programs, student ambassador programs or student programs. GitHub is kind of, they do select 20 to 30 people in every cohort. There is like two cohort. One is like in February and another one is in August. So if you want to be an expert, just you have to press this, become a campus expert, and just only one person from one campus. Okay, so you can see the find a campus expert. You can see if there is any campus expert or not within your area, and then you can actually apply for the program, because if there is already an campus expert there, yeah, you will not be selected from your campus. Okay, so and also like AWS Community Builder program. Okay, so this is like Amazon's community builders program. This is again not for the students. I told you Amazon don't have that much program for students. They are actually much more into like company ecosystem or something. So this is like AWS community builders, because this is for the people who are already helping people with AWS technologies in their community. So already, if you are already engaged with it, this you can be a part of it. So I've shared a lot of programs by now, but you might ask that most of the programs actually require a lot of things. Like you need to have a good LinkedIn profile or something, and after that you can get selected. So how can you get started? So you can get started by applying to Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador program, and after that, if when you build a good profile, use the opportunities Microsoft give you, and then you can apply to all other programs. I'm actually selected in most of the programs here, so that's why I can actually share you the insights of it. Okay, so again, benefits of being a student ambassador. Okay, so first of all, you are going to get to know a lot of things like networking, and okay, I have shared two things. Like first one, this one is from actually Microsoft's Learn to Ambassador program. If I want to actually share you what happens when you join this Microsoft Learn to Ambassador program, what happens is that you are going to get invited to this page. Okay, so there you can see this is for my country, and there's also a global one. All the people are actually connected here. Okay, so all the people are connected here. You can see here the announcement. This is Pablo. He's the community manager. He's actually a program manager for this program, and we guys actually get to know a lot of Microsoft people. There are lots of opportunities, connect and learn. You can see here lots of things like leagues and region and lots of things. Okay, and also what happens is that you can see Microsoft Edge. Okay, so this is like Microsoft Edge is kind of giving benefits to Microsoft Learn ambassadors, so that we can work with them and collaborate. Okay, so and this is how actually Microsoft is benefiting you, and there are lots of benefits. I'm going to show you. Don't worry. What are the benefits other than this? And again, I told you about AWS Community Builder program. Okay, so this is I told you before that AWS Community Builder program is just not only for the students. So basically, when you are a community builder, when you are getting selected, then you will be invited to this lab. Okay, so here what happens, you can see here, these are the people from Amazon. So we do actually have direct chat with them. I'm a student, basically. I'm a first year student. Okay, so I'm selected in all of them, most of them. Okay, so basically you are getting, you are going to get a lot of insights from them, AWS's products, and also you are going to get lots of benefits like a third-party tool benefits, and there will be a lot of community builders who are already job professionals. So if you're doing good work, you can show them, and you can get referrals from them. Okay, so this is how things are actually things work. Okay, so they are going to give you benefits, and you have to use it. Okay, as a student, what you can do, just learn and use those benefits. Okay, so these are the opportunities like networking. First of all, networking. You can know a lot of people, and then you can use them. Okay. After that, the most important one, like I've just mentioned two programs benefits, just two programs benefits. Like this is a cloud academy subscription by AWS Community Builders. Okay, and another one is like LinkedIn Learning subscription by MLSF and $150 credit per month by MLSF. So just two programs benefits I mentioned. So I'll just show you. So basically talking about LinkedIn Learning, right? Okay, so basically talking about LinkedIn Learning, as I am a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. So what happens is that Microsoft actually gives you this LinkedIn Learning subscription. If you're an ambassador for 4 years, you will get this subscription for 4 years. You can just learn for free. We all want to learn from quality place. So this is one of the good places to learn from, LinkedIn Learning. So you can be part of this program and you can use these benefits. Other than this, there is like Studio subscription benefits if you actually go and check it out. Uh, Okay, so for the Microsoft Launch ambassadors only, then what are the benefits? I can show you. Okay, so the reason, okay, let me sign in to my account. Okay, so when you are getting selected, you will get a mail from them, domain containing ambassador mail. Okay, just a moment. Mm. Okay, so you can see here that I'm getting $150 monthly credit. But if you are a student, if you, but you are not part of this program, you will just get $100 credit for 12 months. But if you are an ambassador, you are getting $150 as your credits per month. Okay, and also there are lots of product keys. So yes, surely you cannot give this product keys to any other people. You have to obviously abide by these rules, but you can obviously use them. There are lots of product keys like Windows 10 Pro or Windows 11 Pro, those kind of Microsoft. So most of the products are actually free for the students. You can see here. Okay, so you can use them. So this is a kind of, these are the benefits actually these programs are actually giving you. You can also see there are lots of other benefits. But if you're not part of this program, still you can get this Visual Studio subscription, but you might not get these benefits. You will not get these benefits, but still you will get some benefits from Visual Studio Code subscription. Other than this, obviously there is GitHub's student developer pack, and you can get benefit from there. But that is not part of the ambassador program. Okay. After that, you're going to get lots of swags. Okay. So these are the swags of mine actually. I got it within 6 months, so I cannot actually store them right now. So you can just you can select it, get selected in these programs, and get a lot of swags. Okay, acceptance swags, there are acceptance swags, and also they're like after being an ambassador, there will be lots of meetings, sessions. They are actually giving you, they want to give you gifts or swags. And one of the awesome thing is that I am an AWS community builder, and I've got an offer recently that in 2022 I will be going to Las Vegas for 5 days, fully sponsored by Amazon, like the ticket, and also the what hotel and the reinvent event payment. All of these are free for me. So this is how actually, if you're a student who doesn't want to actually have wall tour, right? Just apply for these programs and use these benefits. You can have just networking benefits. All of us actually want these networking benefits. You want to know people. You might get this referrals from them. You want to learn from the platforms. They're giving you the learning platforms. You want swags. They're giving you swags. You want to go on a tour. They are going to give you those benefits too. So really awesome thing. Okay, and these programs I have mentioned are not promotional programs. These are like programs that you can actually add in your LinkedIn profile, and this will give you some benefits. Surely they are going to give you some benefits. Okay, so basically now the question arises that how can you apply for these programs? These programs are obviously awesome programs, but how can you apply for these programs? Okay, so basically you have to build your LinkedIn or Twitter profile. Okay, so you have to build them. When I started, if I want to show you my profile, when I started, my profile wasn't kind of like it was like 500 or 400 connections, but still I was actually active, very much active in my LinkedIn profile. And I was active, I was learning, and I did share all of my learnings when it was like late night or so. So when I did apply, I think what happened is that I didn't have like this kind of things. Like I was a part of lots of programs, but still I was active. I was showing enthusiasm. So that's how they did actually pick me when I started. It was like early in the January. So it all started early in the January. Okay, when I started to apply for these programs. And I told you, build your LinkedIn or Twitter profile. If it is not already engaged, just how can you engage them? Engage on the platform by sharing your works. If it is LinkedIn, then if you just learn something, do share it when if you are going to and if you want to sleep, just before the sleep, you can just share your works. share your GitHub repost links and post that in your LinkedIn. And obviously follow people who are like who do have the same interest. Just don't follow people everyone follows him and you are following him. Don't follow that way. And after that, you can actually create your Twitter profile. That's very much important. Most of the students actually lack here. So yes, I'm bit much. I'm a bit active here, but the thing is that Twitter is much more for the developers or same-minded people. This is not a place where you can actually share your work. This is more of a you can come to Twitter and know what people are doing. You can learn from them here, or you can connect from them here. And in LinkedIn, you do share your works. This is the place more of a know people and know words, know people who are of the same interest. Just come here and know much of it. When I'm going to going for sleep, just before the sleep, I can see that there are lots of people who are actually creating these Twitter spaces. Okay, so you can go there and be engaged. Recently, I have been showing Vedant. I know this person, Vedant. So what happened is that he's very much active in Twitter spaces. Okay, so whenever there is any kind of spaces, if I go there, and I can see that he's already joined there. So what happened is that you can see this guy has been invited by Kubernetes, and he's actually engaged in those most of these platforms. So and he's been actually accepted in the programs. He has been part of this program after I joined these programs, but you can see here it's still Linux Foundry Scholar and lots of programs he's getting actually selected because he's very much active in this Twitter spaces, communities, this kind of things. So you can be part of these places actually. You can connect with him, you can connect with me too. But you have to actually be active, you have to be engaged, and that's how we can actually get selected because most of the companies want people who are engaged, who just don't come for the swags. Okay, and yes, after that you can apply. Surely, just you might not have a good profile, but be engaged. Just be active every day. Do a visit to your LinkedIn or Twitter profile, and yeah, to share something and apply for these programs. Okay, and here is a kind of apply to ambassador programs. Is a playlist. I built this playlist actually. So you can see here there are one, two, three, four, five, six, okay, six videos, kind of six ambassador programs. You can actually see the application procedure and you can apply for those programs. I will share all of them in the chat section. Don't worry about that. Okay, so that was about ambassador programs and their benefits and how you can use them and why you should. Okay, so now we are going to talk about these student paths. Okay, so as a first year student or a student, you can choose various paths. Okay, I have actually come to know about this after 18 months or so. I've actually known. I've talked with a lot of people. They have actually told me about it. Like you can choose three paths. You can choose, but there are lots of other paths too. But these are the three paths. These are kind of most hyped ones. Okay, so I'm going to talk about it, like open source. Okay, so if you're a student or a first year or a student, just a student, you can surely go for open source. Nowadays, there are lots of people who are actually engaged in open source, and big tech giants like Google, Microsoft, they are actually giving a lot of emphasis on these open source programs. And if you are contributing to these programs, they do refer you sometimes. Yes, it doesn't mean that if when you are getting selected for Google Summer of Code, it doesn't mean you are going to get a referral for Google's interview. It doesn't mean that. But if you're doing a good contribution in a project, and that project maintainer, if he thinks that you will be a good fit for that project, he might actually give you a referral. So this is how things work. Okay, so we will see what are the open source programs, and like if we go here, like this is one contribute to MDN. What is MDN? This is like Mozilla's actually contribution page. So you can come here and you can see how you can actually contribute to their projects and what are the benefit. What are the benefit mainly? So if you contribute to Mozilla's project all the year round, So when the Google Summer of Code, uh, Google Summer of Code actually starts, Mozilla is already there. Okay, so basically you are already contributing to their projects, and if you then tell the main Google Summer of Code, uh, you can see here 3D, KT, and there are lots of programs actually. Yes, there are lots of companies actually, and if you actually contribute to Cloud Native Competition, Cloud Native Computing Foundation, you can see here, you can search for their names, and if you go to here like view projects, you can see here there are lots of projects like Rohan Gupta, Harsh Agarwal, and yeah. So they have already contributed to the CNCF projects. Okay, so we have already mentioned this CNCF. Sorry, I haven't mentioned it here, but we have already. You can contribute to CNCF projects, and later when Google Summer Code actually starts, you can surely contribute to that. Okay, so this is how things work. And after that, reinforcement learning open source fest. Okay, so this is this is one of the programs from by the Microsoft. So reinforcement learning open source program actually has a lot. They do pay a lot. Like when you are applying for this program, you apply for application. There is the application details, the skin exercise, and additional open source projects. Okay, so when you want to apply for this program, you cannot actually apply to this program all year round. You have to create your account. You can see here, I have to create my account. And what happens is that they do pay like $10,000 for 3 months open source contribution program. So this is kind of toughest, one of the toughest open source programs. But still, there is like there are lots of programs. There is like outreach program. Okay, yeah, you can if you come to here like outreach, you can see here like into the outreach program. There is like see they do pay $6,000 for you 3 months open source contribution. You can see here it runs from May to August or December to March. Okay, so this is how things work. But outreach they do have their own rules. Okay, you can see here the outreach application guide. So not all the people can apply, and still there will be like 80% or 90% women actually get selected. And again, if you're other than this, there is like some few open source programs, but these are not that much famous. But you can still contribute to these programs. Okay. So after that, we have like when you want to actually contribute to these programs, you should. What are the approaches you can have? You can see here. If you want to be open source contributor, then you what you have to do is learn a language and search a project on that language on GitHub. Okay, so basically, if you are learning like React.js, right? So what you can do here is you can search with React. Okay, so when I have searched it with React, you can see here that there's already lots of projects. Yes. Okay. So you can contribute to Facebook's React main project. You can contribute to here. Just when you have learned about React, you can contribute to here too. Or if you think that you might not contribute here, you can just search for. Yeah, you can go for like any of the pages. Go there, and you can contribute. Right. You can contribute to their project. So what happens is that your profile in your profile there will be like I can see here you can see that there will be all of the updates about how where you have contributed or so. So when you are applying to any program, basically people will actually see that you have already contributed to these programs, and that's how they will select you. Okay, so basically we have actually told you like lots of programs here. I told you about like GSOC GitHub externship program. This is all about this is for the Indians only, and there's like MLH fellowship. This is MLH fellowship, outreach, LFX mentorship. All of these programs are open for all. Just you have to show that you are capable enough to apply for this program and get selected, and you will be paid. Obviously, you will be paid. Okay, so and if you actually want to connect with Bangladesh's open source community, surely you can contribute, connect with this page, Bangladesh open source community. Just you can search in Facebook, and you will be taken to this page. Other than this, we will obviously share this link with you. Okay, so again after that, there's another path called competitive programming. Okay, So there is like we have talked about open source. Now we're talking about like competitive programming. This is called CP. We all know about it. Like if you want to work in FAG as well as want to be a top rank competitive programmer, what you have to do, you have to learn about the data structure and algorithm from now on, and then you can practice in code forces, code chef, and Leetcode. So this is how basically things work. So there are lots of people who are actually working in FANG, who want to work in FANG. So basically, they want to know if they should go for open source or they should actually work for, they should go for CP. So lots of people go for CP. So how things work is that when you have a good rank, like national rank or international rank, so then you are going to get a referral. Okay, so after that, if you're going for, if you get a referral, after that what happens is that you're going for the interview, right? So in the interview you are asked the DS algo questions. So basically the referral, that your top rank actually helps you to get a referral, and after that your DS algo basics actually help you in the interview. So this is how things work. This is how the CP or getting selected in FANG works. Okay, so there is again another path called open source plus problem solving. So I mentioned that because the reason behind this is like this is kind of one of the best paths. If you're going for just open source, you might have the wish to get into FAN company, but you might not get into it. But if you are just going for CP, you might not end up having the development skills or working in projects. So this is the best path, I think, like contributing to open source plus problem solving. Okay. So as a student, you can choose this path. So what happens is that if you want to ensure that all the fields are open for you, then you can be a boss at data structure and algorithm and also learn and do open source contribution. Okay, so the reason is that like if we go to the Slack, you can see here there is like CNCF, Kubernetes, and lots of Slack channels. Okay, so basically, when you want to contribute to their projects, you can just if you want to contribute to Kubernetes, okay, you can learn Kubernetes. You can talk to those Kubernetes users, or you can check out the announcements. You can talk with them and you can contribute to their projects. Okay, so you are having the development basics, right? And at the same time, what happens is that you can actually do what you can solve problems in Leetcode. So to solve problems in Leetcode, what you have to do, you surely need to have very good DSL code basics. Okay, so you have all the paths open. Okay, you are already contributing to open source, and at the same time you are kind of solving problems in Leetcode. So this is the path you can choose because there are lots of programs like MIT Research Internship Program, or there is like these open source programs or ambassador programs, or lots of programs actually basically. So what happens is that you have all the paths open for you. Just go for, you can choose this open source plus problem solving this path, or you can choose competitive programming path, or you can choose open source path. So all are open for you. Okay, but the reason I'm showing you this open source plus problem solving is that I'm going to show you a person. He's, I think a lot of people know about him. He's Kunal. So if we go to his LinkedIn page, so he's been a student who has been kind of following the path three, open source plus problem solving. Okay, so you can see here he has a very good LinkedIn profile. Like he has very good LinkedIn profile. He has been working with, as his experience you can see here, working at Civo, like in Majolic hacking. He's been like coach and fellowship community manager, and he has been like founder and lots of things, ambassadors, and so on and so forth. Okay, you can also see the volunteering experience of him. Okay. Okay, so basically, why I've mentioned him is that he has been he's been contributing in Google Summer of Code, and he has been a mentor of Google Summer of Code. At the same time, he has cleared the Google's actually interview. Okay, so the path three has been chosen by him. He chose that path, and he's now in just fourth year. Kind of, he's getting lots of offers from big tech giants. They are going. Going to get a lot of offers actually, and like as he mentions, like Ige has already got like 60 plus offers from very some good renowned companies. So this is how you can actually choose your paths. All of the paths were actually based. Okay, three paths were obviously based. Open source, if you are going for open source, you can contribute to Flutter, you can contribute to any sort of projects you actually learn. And if the project maintainer actually finds a fit for this program or fit for the project, he might actually refer you and you can go for the interview. And this is how open source works. And obviously, if you contribute, you may actually get accepted in this kind of programs and you might be paid. Okay. So obviously, you should not actually think that you will be paid from the beginning, but yeah, you will be paid one day if you are actually selected in this one of these programs. Okay, so and after that competitive programming, obviously, most of the people actually wants to get chance, get into FANG companies. Okay, so basically getting into FANG, if you want to get into FANG, then this is one of the best actually path. Like going for CP, you can actually learn DS algo and actually contribute. You can solve problems in code forces, attend those kind of marathons or hackathons. And if you have good rank, if you're going to get selected in regionals and do well, you're going to get a referral and go for those interviews. And obviously, if you're so much good in this problem solving, then you are surely going to get selected in this FANG company. But as if you want to open all of the branches for yourself, just you can actually go for this. But you can actually master data structure and algorithm. At the same time, you can actually contribute to open source. And to contribute to open source, what you have to do, you surely need to have like uh, you should need to know some basics about development, right? If you want to contribute like web development related projects, you need to know about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, this kind of things. You have to contribute using them, right? And if you want to contribute using Python, you have to contribute using your Python knowledge, right? So you are already learning data structure and algorithm, which might help you if you differ it, and you are already contributing to you're already learning the development skills. So both of them are actually helpful after you graduate or if you are in your university life. Okay, because there are lots of benefits of these programs. I previously mentioned about these programs, like these ambassador programs, right? So these ambassador programs, I mentioned about it. So when you are going to apply for these programs, if you have good profile, just you are already learning something, you are already achieving something, so you will have a very good profile by then. So you can get accepted to those programs too. At the same time, yeah, this is how things work. So I've actually mentioned about Kunal, right? So you can surely search about him and know about him. Okay, so he's currently at CIFO, and at the same time, I told you he's in his fourth year and kind of doing very good remote jobs. Okay, so and also you can follow him on Twitter. So after that, so that was all about like we talked about what are the agendas we had today. We had the agendas like talking about ambassador programs, right? Student ambassador programs and benefits of being student ambassador and paths a student can actually choose in first year or as a student, right? And after that, there are lots of actually communities you can be part of because there are communities who actually push you every time when you are going for a sleep. You can see that there has been a community who's been engaged in some Twitter space, or you can see here they are engaged in Discord and talking about lots of things. So there's been some communities. Okay, so you can be part of those communities where okay, let me share. Okay, so there's been one this community. Actually, I manage this community, learn with the community. So you can here see here this Discord channel. So we have a Discord channel. So there's like 1.1K people are already here. So you can be part of this Discord community. And there's like you can see here that this event is already shared. This is the event we are actually uh, going through. So this has been already shared, and also there has been like resources for the paths you want to actually learn from. Like if you want to learn Git, you want to learn JavaScript, Java, C++, all of the resources are actually shared here. And events and conferences, a student actually can perform or you can actually attend. These are also shared here because a lot of people actually want to attend events and get swags or get the networking benefits. These are also shared here. And also we talked about this first year paths, right? So this is also shared here. What are the paths a student can choose? Like you can learn from all the free courses of MIT. Maybe you are familiar with MIT Open Courseware. So this is also already shared here. You see their CSA, CC syllabus, or it is also shared here. And as a student, you can choose one of these paths, right? So these are already mentioned, and yeah, after that, there's been like what you should do: create a LinkedIn profile, Twitter account, GitHub account, and yeah, this is what. And this is again about the ambassador programs playlist. Okay, so I told you previously about those 6 ambassador programs. So these are already shared here. These are not actually mentioned here by now, but yeah, we will add it at them. So other than this, like this is my community. Other than this, you can be part of some awesome program communities like AD Hub. This is also some a awesome community. AD Hub. This is fully focused on open source contribution, so you can be part of that and you can part of the community classroom. Okay, so community classroom is actually organized by Kunal. Previously, we talked about Kunal. So he has been kind of he has created his own YouTube channel, and there he actually gives education for free. So these are one of the more kind of good communities now on. And other than this, there is also obviously other communities like Hack This Fall or so some other actually MLH, Microsoft Imagine Cup, and these are the communities also that you can be part of this one of these actually uh, Discord channels or LinkedIn and start engaging with other people, engage with other enthusiast people, and thus you can actually be much more actually active because they will push you, right? So that was actually it from my side. Now, Imran Sifat, I will actually talk about the career guidelines, and the floor is yours.
All right. Thanks, Mithul. So, at first, I'm going to talk about the academics. I guess I can share my screen. Hold on. All right. Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm actually, my full name is Mohammad Al Imran Sifat, but people actually know me as Imran Sifat. So I'm the founder of Coding with Imran. So it is a community or a YouTube channel or whatever you can say. I write Medium articles as well. You can follow me on LinkedIn. So I'm actually a final year student. I'm actually in my final semester at Brak University in Bangladesh. So other than that, I'm actually a software QA engineer at Unisys Solutions, which is one of the top companies in Bangladesh right now. Other than these things, I'm also a Flutter developer. So I was the ex-lead of iOS development team at Hishabi Technologies Limited. And I train people Flutter. I take boot camps and workshops for the students. So most of the students are at the university, but people or students from colleges also attended my boot camps as well, and they got hired by companies. All right, let's go to the second page. So what is actually the roadmaps and how things actually work? So the thing is that most of the students actually don't know how things actually work in our communities or maybe in the academics. So for example, I can say that in Bangladesh, most of the students, I can say about 70% of the students actually don't know how things actually work in software engineering, or I can say computer science engineering, or CSE or CS, computer science. So things don't really work like they expected, and they become pretty hard to actually maintain personal life and academics. So connecting academics to career is really tough. So why is that? You can ask yourself that question. So the problem is that our most of the university syllabus is not that updated to the latest technologies available in the industry. And the problem is that the industry is actually demanding something which is not provided by the institutes, or I can say that the universities. So our university courses are not up to the marks at most of the cases, but I can pretty much say that there are some courses which actually helps the students to work out. And in Asia, it's a tough choice to study in university. And the problem is that our I'm going to talk about some family stuff. Like most of the parents in Asian parents actually wants you to be an engineer or maybe a doctor, for say. So the problem is that they get into these career paths they don't really know, or they don't want to become an engineer, or they don't want to become a doctor. And this has been a problem for the last 10 to 20 years, I guess. And the problem is that they make their life monotonous. They are not actually interested to learn this. Engineering is not actually an easy task or an easy thing to learn and prove yourself to the industry that I can actually make this, or I know this stuff. So for this reason, people don't want to invest a lot of time, or maybe do some courses in the university. Then I saw some students changing their major in third year or maybe in second year, and they go to another major like electrical engineering, or maybe change to business majors. So this is actually a problem. They don't want to know, or they don't really know how things actually work in the universities. And another thing that I mentioned earlier is that the syllabus is not up to the latest technologies available in the industry. So for example, I can say that most of the university courses in our country, in Bangladesh, teaches about maybe 5 years old technologies. I can say about the database course. So there are some lectures about SQL, how databases actually work, how database is connecting to the front end, this is the back end, and so on and so forth. But the problem is that industry is demanding them to know about NoSQL as well, or maybe Postgres, which is an object-oriented database base. So they don't really provide everything that they have to learn, or maybe they have to know to get into the industry. And for this reason, there is a huge internship opportunities. And the problem is that in our country, or maybe in Asian countries, these internships sometimes are not paid programs. So why is that? So the companies don't know that you have the potential to do so, and for this reason they don't really want to pay you to prove yourself. So what can you do to prove yourself, or maybe how you can actually say that, okay, I have actually completed this course, or maybe I have done some projects in these topics. So if you want to get recognized as a Flutter developer, for example, so you have to basically show them some projects, right? So you can go to the companies and say that, okay, so I have some projects, You can see them. They're on Google, or you can just Google them, my project, on Play Store or App Store. And these are my projects. I have done it. This is my GitHub repository. You can check the codes out. They are clean codes, and I maintained all the things which is need to be done. And they actually will understand that, okay, so this guy actually know his stuff. Then they're gonna pay you to work in that company. So this is called the project basis education. So you have to showcase some projects, and you have to prove yourself to the companies that, okay, I know this stuff, so give me the job. Right? So there are lots of open source projects available in GitHub. You can just learn a language. For example, you want to contribute to Flutter, right? So if Flutter is open source, by the way. You can literally work with the other Googlers with the Flutter project. So you can literally push your code that you actually wrote in your machine to the Flutter original repository, right? And those codes will be used by the engineers all over the world. So Flutter is open source. That's about that. And to actually learn about open source, you can you can just go to Google or maybe YouTube or that websites that actually mentioned by Mithul. They are really helpful, and Kunal is one of them. And in our Asian culture, or in Bangladesh or India, competitive programming is hyped. Most of the people go to Google or Amazon or any other, the FANG companies. They always talk about the competitive approach. But open source is not that popular in our country. That's because they actually don't know how to connect to other people. So to do some good works in open source, you have to connect to other people and work with other people. So open source is basically you will actually work with thousands of engineers from all over the world. So I always give example about Flutter. So if you really want to work on Flutter, you can just go to Flutter's GitHub repository and see the listed issues that are actually on this repository. So for example, there might be some problems with image is not loading. I'm just giving an example. So the image is not loading, and then comment on that issue that, okay, so I want to work on this issue, please assign this issue to me. Then you have solved that problem, and then you will make a pull request, which is also called PR, and you're going to submit the pull request, and then the developers from the Flutter repository are gonna review your codes and then merge your codes to that Flutter repository. So this is what open source is all about. So the all about that open source. So there are some problems in competitive programming as well, and there is a difference between competitive programming and problem solving, right? And the problem is that the competitive programming is not that similar to problem solving. There might people are gonna argue to this topic that, okay, so competitive programming is literally about solving some problems, which is mentioned in the question, but the things don't really work in that way. So if you watch any kind of tech interview, for example, you go to Google, YouTube and search for Google interview question, or maybe a mock Google interview or mock FANG interview. So they're literally gonna ask you about algorithm questions. So the problem is that most of the competitive programming questions don't actually includes the algorithm part of the questions. So you literally have to understand data structures and algorithm for this. Solely for that, you have to brush up your data structure skill, you have to brush up your algorithm skill, because they're literally gonna ask everything about what you know and what you do, or what you love to do, or what you did in your university, or maybe a boot camp, or any other previous experiences, and they're gonna ask you like, okay, so what algorithm did you work on? Okay, so this is a problem, so what do you want to do to solve this problem, right? So they're literally gonna ask like this, so this is a problem, so what are you planning to do to solve this problem? So that's how this tech interview works. And creating connections to the industry is very important. So there are there are hundreds of gems in our Asian countries like Bangladesh or India, but there is a problem. The problem is that when an introvert person is doing something, he doesn't really want to maybe talk to another person like, okay, I did something, I did this, can you check this, like ask another person's opinion, or ask another engineer's opinion about that thing. So I'm a Flutter developer. I mainly work with Flutter and Swift UI as well. I'm an iOS engineer as well. So the problem is that you have to create connections to the people at the industry, and which is why you have to join the communities. So there are a list of the communities available in this slide. This is gonna provide to you after this session is closed. So the problem is that with these introvert persons, or introvert James, I can say. So these people are so much talented, but the problem is that they don't have that connections to the industry. So I can give an example. So you buy something, or maybe you achieved something, you post on Facebook or any other social media that, okay, I did this, I won this competition, and I achieved this or won this thing. Or maybe there was a competition among the nationally, there was a competition, I won this. So if you didn't actually post it on social media or in any other communities related to that topic, maybe they will not know about your achievement. They will not know that you are capable or knowledgeable, or basically you can do that stuff, right? So you have to showcase your projects, and you have to showcase your skills to get recognized by the industry. And this is a big problem. Why is that? So this is called the imposter syndrome. So if you have written a single line of code, but you're actually having fear that, okay, so I'm going to show another engineer or another developer that I've written this code, but is it all right? Or what will they think of my code? If my code was not clean, they're gonna blame me, or they're gonna call me stupid or something. So this is called the imposter syndrome. Like every other engineer in the basically in software engineering or software development have this kind of fear that, okay, so I have this imposter syndrome, and I don't really know if my code is clean or what they're gonna say about me. So you have to overcome this fear to showcase your projects. And what I said about the internship is quite tragic in our platform. So, for example, I can say that people are joining in the industry, and they're not even well paid, and you have to do 9 to 5 jobs, and you're literally getting paid for doing a lot of work, like 9 to 6 or 9 to 5 job. That is a tough work to do, right? Every single day you have to, excluding the weekends, every single day you have to do some works, but you're literally getting paid for nothing. So don't get confused about this internship. I must say that these internships are actually creating problems with our students, like who are literally graduating and can't find jobs. The problem is that you don't have that skill, or maybe you have that skill, but you don't know how to showcase your works, right? And without showcasing your works, the companies are not gonna hire you. So let's just say that you have your company, right? You have $1 million or $1 billion company, and you want to hire some engineers. Okay, so you need at least 10 to 20 software engineer, and there are list of people gathered over your company to join your company as a software engineer. So 10% of the people are actually capable of doing that task. As you have seen their CV, they did some projects, and the rest of the people actually don't know, or maybe they know. You have to talk to them, or maybe you have to ask them, like, okay, so do you know that, do you know this, do you know how to implement that, or do you have any idea how these things actually work? So you will say to yourself that, okay, I don't have that much time, I'm the CEO of a billion-dollar company, why would I spend my time from my schedule to ask people about that? Okay, so you're gonna do that stuff, you can do that stuff, right? So basically, maintain an online portfolio that you can literally just, okay, so this is my online portfolio link, you can visit that and you can have all the ideas about me, what I did, or what I love to do, or what I achieved, or my achievements or something. So you have to maintain that, and that's about it to get a job in the industry. So I don't really have anything other than to say. I'm really surprised at the achievements or the task that Mithul does. And the thing is that he's literally in his second semester, right? So he's literally in his second semester and he's doing a great work. Like when I've seen him, like I was not really sure that, okay, so he's in first year literally. Like, even when I was in the first year, I did some basic stuff like make some websites with React, do some freelancing stuff, and earn that money, right? So the problem is that with the students, again, I must say that after 3 years in software engineering, or in CS degree, or maybe CS related degree, they get the portion of the idea, okay, I have to do that. People are getting internships, people are literally getting jobs at other companies, so what do I have to do to get that job? So after 3 years, when the other people are joining companies, they have that thought in their minds, like, okay, so I have to do some works. But the problem is that you have literally wasted your 3 years by doing some courses in university, and you have nothing to showcase to the companies, and that creates a problem. And I must say that what Mithul does is amazing stuff, and Mithul has a lot of connections with the industry's person. Make sure to follow him, and you can get ideas about how to connect to that people. And there are some student ambassador programs, like what he actually explained in the previous slides, right? So these are actually the open source programs, and join these programs. Like you can get networking opportunities. Like these are the student ambassador program, right? They're literally free for you guys. So the problem is that we don't actually use the resources that are allocated to us, and we somehow blame our academics, like, okay, so they didn't really say about these things, like I can do that, or I have to learn that. So apply to these student ambassador programs, and then you will have networking opportunities, like Mithul mentioned it to you. And most of the ambassador programs literally giving you free opportunities for you, like Azure credit. And check the GitHub's student developer pack. I think it is student developer pack, so check that as well. And check this YouTube playlist. You can have the idea how to apply to that, apply to maybe a specific ambassador program you don't know about. So GSOC is, I have to say that GSOC is one of the popular choice of people who want to actually go to Google or join Google. So GSOC is not that popular in our country. Like I'm pretty sure like around 5 to 10% of the people will actually know about what is GSOC or what is a Google Summer of Code in Bangladesh, I must say. So it is not that popular, and in Bangladesh, competitive programming is hell lot of popular, I must say this. So the rest is up to you. You can actually go to open source and do some competitive programming or both of this, and you can literally go to Google how to get into Fang, and any other YouTuber or any other article, they are gonna mention Leetcode to you. So practice a lot, practice the Leetcode problems which is available to you, and you don't really have to get the premium feature, Leetcode premium feature. There are some other websites as well, like HackerRank. So what I said about the competitive programming and problem solving, so these Leetcode problems actually require you to understand the data structure and algorithm at best, and there are some sections which you have to specifically implement some algorithm, for example DFS or BFS, or maybe Dexter algorithm, pathfinding algorithm. These are basically it. And Kunal is one of the one of the top contributors of the open source community, and he's the trending channel in YouTube, I must say this. So he's doing a lot of things. Like he's of my age. I suppose he's of my age. I'm guessing. So the problem is that we're not actually active in the LinkedIn. Like in Bangladesh, most of the students fear LinkedIn. I don't know why. So enrich your LinkedIn profile, and basically you're gonna attract the recruiters. So some days ago, a program manager from Microsoft visited my LinkedIn profile, and I got a notification saying that, okay, so a program manager from Microsoft has visited your LinkedIn profile. So I sent the request to him, and he accepted my request like instantly. So that creates an opportunity for me, right? So I guess that's about it. I've actually talked this, like extracurricular activities, explore what you want to do and what you love, and basically you have to do some research about the job industry, what the industry is actually demanding from you, right? So if you have that skill, or if you have that knowledge, so what the industry is actually demanding, okay? So no university is gonna explain how React works, or maybe Flutter or React Native or Angular Vue. Angular, Vue, and React is JavaScript framework. I don't really think that universities actually teach that. You have to do some research, then you have to acquire that skill or learn that knowledge to make some projects and showcase to their companies. So Coding with Imran is a community. You can like my Facebook page, and I'm try to make some YouTube videos, but the thing is that I have a full-time job, and I'm in my last semester, and there are some pressures with my thesis report, and I have an academy as well where I teach people software engineering. So recently I started to write Medium articles as well, so you can follow me on Medium. So the link is given on the page, and make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can get the updates. If you have any questions, then you can ask me and Mitul. We're actually at the end of the workshop.